guys, today I'm going to read a short chapter from the book Wishtree by Katherine Applegate. It is narrated by a tall red oak tree in the story, and it is just heartwarming and the kind of thing that I need right now. It's also one of our Charlie Mae Simon books for this year, which you'll be able to vote on from home, I believe. Without further ado, I have one more community member, although visitor is probably a better way to describe Samar. In January, she moved with her parents into one of the houses I shade, a tiny blue house with a sagging porch and a tiny garden. She is perhaps 10 years old or so, with wary eyes and a shy smile. Samar has the look of someone who is seeing too much, someone who wants the world to quiet itself. Soon after moving in, Samar began sneaking into the yard once her parents had fallen asleep. Even on the coldest nights, she trudged outside in her red boots and green jacket. Her breath was a frosty veil. She would stare at the moon and at me, and sometimes at the little greenhouse next door, where a boy who looks to be about her age lives. As it grew warmer, Samar would venture out in her pajamas and robe and sit beneath me on an old blanket, spattered with moonlight. Her silence was so complete, her gentleness so apparent, that the residents would crawl from their nest of thistledown and dandelion fluff to join her. They seemed to accept her as one of their own. Bongo especially loved Samar. She would flit to her shoulder and settle there. Sometimes she would say, "Hello," in a fine imitation of Samar's voice. Often Bongo gave Samar a little gift she'd found during her daily flights. A Monopoly token, the car, a gold ribbon, a cap from a root beer bottle. Bongo keeps a stash of odds and ends in one of my smaller hollows, which the possums kindly tolerate. "You never know who I might need to bribe," she likes to say. There is her stash of little odds and ends. But her gifts to Samar weren't bribes. They were just Bongo's way of saying, "I'm glad we're friends." If this were a fairy tale, I would tell you there was something magical about Samar. That she cast a spell on the animals, perhaps. Animals don't just leave their nest and burrows willingly. They are afraid of people, with good reason. But this isn't a fairy tale, and there was no spell. Animals compete for resources just like humans. They eat one another, they fight for dominance. Nature is not always pretty or fair or kind, but sometimes surprises happen. And Samar, every spring night, reminded me there is beauty in stillness and grace in acceptance, and that you're never too old to be surprised. I hope that if you like that you can pick up this book and read it. And I hope that you stay safe and healthy. And I can't wait to see you again.